Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm so happy to have you on here, and I hope you guys can try these mandalas and have a fun time doing it. So before we get started on the mandala design, I'm going to explain our tools. So the tools I use are color coded, so they have a color on the top of the tools. When you buy them off of Temu or Amazon, they usually just come clear. So first off, for the twirly tools, I do not use the green twirly for any of my tutorials, so you can set this one aside. As for the rods, the largest two rods, I, again, also do not use for any of my tutorials, but if you're doing like a bigger project on your own time, then of course you can use these. So now to help you understand what I have color coded, you can lay them out biggest to smallest. The biggest one, which is the green one, next size down, we have it marked as the blue stick. And then next size down after the blue is the white stick. After the white stick, it's the yellow stick. And then we have the pink stick. And then last but not least, trying to pick them up, is the black stick. And then of course we have the twirlies. These are self-explanatory. They are color-coded already. You can color code them yourself. We use just nail polish on the tops of the tools. We can get started with the design now. Hey everyone, so this is the palette I'm going to be using for today. For paint color number 1, I'm using Craftsmart Multi-Surface Parchment. For paint color number 2, I'm using Craftsmart Red. Paint color number 3 is Craftsmart Orange. For paint color number 4, it's Craftsmart Spanish Olive. Paint color number 5 is Craftsmart Olive Green, and paint color 6 is Craftsmart Multi-Surface Radiant Gold. Okay, so now we're gonna get started. So for the first step, we're gonna take the blue stick with paint color 3. And you should have a little mark on your pumpkin. This is where this first dot is gonna go, just right on top of it. Okay, so next step, we're going to use the pink twirly. Yes. We're gonna use the smaller end with paint color 1. So to make sure our design is as symmetrical as possible, we're going to place 4 guiding dots. So you're going to place your first dot anywhere around our middle dot. Then you're going to go right across from it and place a dot there. Then you're going to find the center of these two and put it to the side like this. And then another dot across from that one so that we get these 4 guiding dots, north, south, west, east. Okay, once you have those first 4 dots, we're going to go in between each gap and place another dot. So with the same size, same color, just going to add a dot in between each gap. So
and you're
this,
using every time, right?
yes. So this should bring you to 8 dots. The same tool, same color, and we're going to go in between the gaps one last time.
Oh, okay.
So this should bring you up to 16 dots all the way around.
I was wondering how it made
In between each dot?
In between each gap, yeah.
With the smaller or the bigger end?
Small end.
Oh, no.
Okay, next step, we're gonna use the pink twirly again, the bigger end this time, with paint color 5. And we're gonna place these dots in between and above the ones we just did. So not like above like this, but kind of above that little in between.
I'm sorry, big end or small end?
Big end.
Number 5.
Yes.
In between.
In between.
Moving on, we're gonna use the pink twirly, the bigger end, with paint color 2.
Pink twirl, pink color 2.
Yep.
Pink, big 2.
Okay.
Yep.
And we're just going to basically do what we did, above and in between.
Okay.
Okay. It's relaxing just watching you do this on the screen.
Right. You can just relax. It's your birthday. You can do whatever you want to do.
Okay, moving on, we're gonna use the pink twirly, the bigger end, with paint color 4.
Pink twirly, number 4.
Pink twirly, pink 4. Well, it's the same thing.
Yes, same thing. Okay, next up, we're gonna take the yellow twirly, the smaller end with paint color 3,
Ooh, back to the original.
and we're going to place a small dot in between the dots.
Oh, okay.
Number 3.
And a small
Okay.
one.
In between.
Okay, next up, we're gonna take the black stick with paint color 6, and we're gonna put these dots above the small ones we just did. Okay, next we're gonna use the pink twirly. We're gonna use both ends, but we're gonna use the bigger end first. We're gonna use paint color 5. So again, starting with the bigger end of the pink twirly, you're going to place a dot above, kind of like a snowman. Then you'll switch to the smaller end, dip in the paint, just the tip, because we want these to be very, very small. You're gonna start next to it, and you're going to drag around.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Oh,
Do you suggest doing like all the big ones first and then the small ones?
Yes, yes, you can
Okay.
definitely do that.
Because they won't dry in time.
So you don't really touch. It goes, okay, so we do
Okay, we do all the big ones first.
Looks like a big
This is number 5 we're doing, number 5?
Yes.
We do Lily.
Okay, next step, we're gonna use the white twirly.
White one?
White twirly, smaller end with paint color 1.
I'm not there yet.
And we're just going to put these in between like that.
Love it.
Smaller and, so you said 1 and it's 6, whereas with the white pumpkin, which
Yes.
is.
So go right in between the.
Okay, moving on, we're gonna use the pink stick with paint color 2. And we're going to put these above the little dots we just placed, but we're going to skip a dot. So you should have 8 of these around.
Pink stick number 2. And number,
Yes,
color
paint
2.
color number 2.
So
above the
every
dot.
other one.
Okay, so we're gonna use the pink twirly.
Pink is popular.
We're gonna use both sides, but we're gonna use the bigger end first with paint color 4. So again, bigger end of the pink twirly. We're going to do our snowman. So place 1 dot like above. You can do that all the way around. And then you'll switch to the smaller end, dip in the paint, and we're going to walk the dots like we practiced. So remember, you don't want to re-dip because we want the dots to get smaller. Okay, so we're gonna move on. We're gonna use the pink twirly with paint color 3. And we're gonna walk the dots just like we did. Bigger end
Big N, okay.
for the first dot, switch to the smaller one, and walk the dots around. 3, paint color 3.
All right, so big, so
Okay,
then
so
little
we're gonna
side.
All the way into.
Okay, so I'm gonna do
Yeah, all right.
Okay, next step, we're gonna use the white twirly. We're gonna use the bigger end first with paint color 5.
Yay, I was getting lonely.
White twirly.
Okay, big N first.
And
Big
So we're
end.
just doing walking more dots.
yes,
Okay.
Number 5.
yes,
Big and white twirly.
yes. Big end for the first dot, and then you'll switch to the smaller end. Next up, we're gonna take the white twirly again with paint color 6, and we're gonna do the same thing, walking the dots.
Big and more, yeah, I started to run out of room.
I ran out of room.
Is this, how many more, oh, you're running out of room too. So this is our last stack like this?
Yes, so you're gonna, when you walk the dots, you're gonna use the bigger end for the first dot, but you're not gonna switch to the smaller end. You're just gonna re-dip the bigger end to go around.
And I'm sorry, what color?
6. Okay, so we're gonna use the black stick and the pink twirly.
Okay. Black stick and pink twirly.
Yes. Yeah.
And we're gonna use paint color 3. We're gonna use the black stick first, and you're going to place a dot as far as you can, like wedge it in between, but also like leaving some room, because then you're gonna use the smaller end of the pink twirly, drag it down for a teardrop.
Oh, fancy.
Okay, so we're gonna use the pink twirly and the yellow twirly. We're gonna use the smaller end of both. We're gonna use the pink twirly first, and we're gonna use paint color 1. So with the smaller end, you're just going to do 1 drag down, straight down like that.
Number 1.
And then you'll switch to the smaller end of the yellow twirly, dip, and make sure you're just doing the tip because we don't want these big. And you're going to start slightly lower than the first one and drag right alongside it on both sides. So like this, you have 3, and then you're going to dip and do 2 more on each side.
Okay, so yellow twirly number 2.
To finish off this pumpkin, I'm gonna do some overlapping. We're gonna use the pink twirly bigger end with paint color 5. And we're going to overlap these gold dots here. And we're going to use the pink twirly bigger end again with paint color 5, and we're going to overlap these dots. Next overlapping, I'm going to take the pink and yellow twirly, the smaller end on both of them with paint color 2, or I'm sorry, pink twirly bigger end and yellow twirly smaller end. So with paint color 2, and I'm going to overlap these teardrops, placing a dot with the pink twirly, and then with the yellow twirly smaller end, gonna drag it down. And that was incredibly crooked. And then for the last overlapping step, I'm going to take the pink stick with paint color 5 and overlap the middle dot. And now we are finished with our pumpkin.